Hey, welcome to all of you today. It is a new week, so a new podcast. Welcome to Say Anything with Kina B. I am Kina B. And today we are talking about friendship and what it means to be a friend. We have some insight from different people from around the area about their opinions on friendship, whether male to male, male to female, female to female, and kind of get an understanding of what does it mean to be a friend around these parts. Stay tuned after a word from our sponsor.
The holiday season is fast approaching, but anytime is a good time to show a loved one how much you care. At WMBS Market, we specialize in local and global artwork. Find spectacular work by Zambian modern artist Ringo Bryant's Chilashe, Florida ceramist Gloria Nicholson, and naturalist painter Lily M. Clark. Alternative payment options are available on select artwork. Located at 23 North Madison Street, Quincy, Florida, in the historic downtown area. WMBS Market. Come for the culture, return for the connection.
And we are back. Thank you for sticking around. So today's episode is about what it means to be a friend. What is a friend? We are going to start with the definition of what a friend is. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a friend is a noun that means one attached to another by affection or esteem. And then the second definition they have for it is one that is not hostile. And then there's a third definition, one that is of a same nation, party, or group. Oh. And here's another one that favors or promotes something. These definitions say a lot and say nothing all at the same time. It is as varied as the answers that I receive from people, because just in the definition in the Merriam-Webster, you see that a friend is someone who can be very close, or someone who may just have the same interest as you, or someone who is capable of helping you with something. And I wonder, is that why we have such a hard time defining what a friend is or should be? It's a question that I have, because one that favors or promotes something, that's an interesting definition of a friend. I would put that more of an acquaintance. And then one of the same nation, party, or group. Well, there are a lot of people who are of the same, have the same interests, but are not friends. So are we saying that we should all be friends if we're all like in the same country, or all in the same ethnic group, or all in the same political party? That is so interesting to me. Tell me what you think. I want you all to respond, comment below. What do you define as a friend? Is it something as simple as we're both in the same dance class, so therefore we are now friends? Or do you have to have something more than just a shared interest to be a friend? Does it have to be deeper? Does it have to go further than just having some of the same likes and dislikes? That makes me think of the quote, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." People who gather together to commiserate, are they friends? I would like to think that it's deeper than that. I would like to think that friendship requires something more than just we both like pepperoni pizza, now we're friends. With that in mind, I spoke with a couple of people that could help me kind of ponder the question, what is a friend? First up, Hollis per se.
Hey, Hollis, how are you?
Good, how about you?
Thank you for being on the podcast today.
No problem.
Tell people about what you do.
I'm just a barber in the local area of Gaston County. You can find a barbershop at 10 West Washington Street, Quincy, Florida.
What is a man's definition of a friend?
Like my male friend, like homeboy, they my friend though. Kind of on them, dependable, reliable. You know.
You call them up if you got in trouble, or if you just needed something real quick. Go swing by my house and
chill, hang out, yeah.
But you wouldn't do that with a female?
Yes, I would.
Oh?
But most men be lying. They'll lie, say, oh, this my friend. But the whole time they sneaking around, messing around.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Then someone say, this my friend. That's why good. I got actually good homegirl friends. We just conversate, come hang out, maybe go out and grab food. Nothing sexual, nothing. That's a real friend. And I'd have been in situations I done lied. Oh, this just a friend. But the whole time back in the day, I was messing around with them, just used a friend as a cover up.
Okay, so what I'm hearing though is then the word that needs to be really used is homegirl instead of friend.
Yeah.
Because you all, friend is tricky, but homegirl is truly.
Nah.
No?
Because I done lied to men. The word to me is a facade. They use that word. It's the cover up. Oh, this is my homegirl, my friend. The whole time you both be sneaking around. I think they just use the word as a cover up. But men know the meaning of it, but they'll use that word as a cover up.
So because it's been used wrong,
people think the definition means something else. But yeah, I done use it as a cover up before. We just friends.
Well, okay, you're older now. So what is it? What do you use it for now?
Still the same.
Next up, military veterans Sidney, Nicholson, and Veronica Ashley with the perspective of friendship in the military.
Friendship? I have no friends. You could be an acquaintance, but that person you see today that you call your friend,
it might be a different person tomorrow because you have to evolve with the situation. So you may know me today because I need to be in relation with you, but tomorrow you might meet the person back from Midway, Florida that has no interest in being in relation with you. That's what we talk
Beryllium
about. The person
Spalding,
from the right and left.
also known as Mickey to her friends.
Hey, Mickey.
Hey.
Well, how would you define a friend?
As someone who can call me on the carpet on my shiggity. Sometimes I have a beryllium universe that is a bubble. And a true friend can help me untangle and dissect my beliefs and still honor that I believe what I believe. Let's talk about some of the things that kind of are maybe not congruent, and then let's still be friends.
And last, longtime friend, Tracy Lillard.
and she's actually a pretty private person. Keeps to herself. So for her to join me on the podcast today,
Miss Tracy.
Well,
in thinking about friendship, I had to reach out to someone that I've known a very long time. It's probably been a good 20 years that we've known each other.
Definitely.
Definitely. We went to college together, lived in the same dorms, and lived daily lives together. And so everyone welcome Miss Tracy. What would you define as a friend?
I would say a friend is someone who has an interest in you, they care about you, your needs. There's someone who's loyal, someone you can trust, and they have a respect for you, and vice versa.
So you've been best friends with your friend, like the majority of your life, right?
Well, I have two best friends, and we have been friends since, one of them I knew in middle school, and the other I met freshman year of high school.
And what would you say, why did their friendships stand out?
We just click. I don't remember how our friendship started. However, like, it has always been the same way. Like, as we went through different steps in our life, we didn't change up or anything. And I don't know how other people's friendships are, but I don't need to see my friends all the time. And they're the same way. We don't need to see each other all the time to still feel the closeness. We've been friends for over 25 years. Of course, while I was at college, we had a little bit distance. But like after college and I came back home, we kind of picked up where we left off.
And see, that's amazing, because I don't know a lot of people who can say that they have managed to maintain friendships from, grade school, secondary school. So that speaks a lot to you and your friendships, your best friends, that you were able to maintain that. Here's a question. Are your best friends with each other?
Yes.
Okay, so that's even better. Have you ever had a situation where one friend did not get along with the other? Not your specific best friends, but any other friends outside of that?
Yes. Me and one of my best friends, we had a friend in common. And something happened between the two of them, which was, for me, when I hear about it, it's kind of petty. Like, what? You guys stop talking or don't want to hang out with each other because of what someone said about a pastor that something, I don't even know how to describe it, but there was like...
There was a disagreement and they fell out.
Yeah, and it was over whether someone liked the pastor or not. And it wasn't their home church or whatever. A pastor that they both knew, and one didn't like that pastor, and the other one was in support of that pastor. So they stopped talking, and so there was an awkwardness for me because I'm like, okay, we can't hang out anymore. And then, like, if I wanted to go somewhere, like, hello, I can't invite the other person anymore. So it was just a little awkward, and pretty much I didn't talk to the other person anymore. I wouldn't have a problem talking to them, but the friendship wasn't that deep where I wanted to keep going.
And your loyalty was to your best friend. And your loyalty was to your best friend.
Correct.
You said the friendship wasn't that deep. So could you have really called that person a friend? Would you have actually, like, when you sit back and you think about it, would they have been considered a friend if it was easy to let go?
It was easy to let go because we hadn't kept in touch that much over the years. And she wasn't someone that, like, I would share like a whole lot of stuff with.
So then that leads me to the question, is it truly a friend? Would that be more of an acquaintance?
I'm going to call it a friend because we were, like, really close years ago. She moved, I went to college, life just happened. And then we kind of linked back up when she moved back to the area. So
you have an interesting take on that. I asked that question specifically because when I was talking to someone recently about friendships, okay, and I made the comment that everyone's a friend until you have an argument, and then suddenly you're not friends anymore. I said, so is that really a friend? Are you really a friend if you can get past the argument? And then everything before that, you were an acquaintance.
Possibly. Like, when I call someone a friend, like, I don't take it lightly. And I used to tell my niece and nephews all the time, like, you guys are too quick to call someone your friend. You don't know anything about them. You just have like one thing in common and you're like, oh, that's my friend. Or they allowed you to sit at their table at lunch and that's your friend. No, you can't call those people your friend because there's nothing there yet. They are just people your associates.
I was telling my son that too. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, they haven't been through anything to have anything done. You know what I mean? So it's like we're putting the standard on them that really wouldn't apply because they haven't gone through anything yet.
Right. I'm not saying they have to go through anything, but like when I ask them certain things about their friend, they don't know.
What's their favorite food?
That's the basic.
I get what you're saying. They don't know where they live. They don't know their music. They literally just like the same food. And that's it. Or they sit next to each other in science class. And that's it. Oh, that's so funny. That is true. It's like shallow ground. That's why they can fall out so easily and make up so easily. Has there ever been a friend that someone that you called a friend, but you fell out for whatever reason, no longer speak? Would you ever consider reconnecting with an old friend?
At this point in my life, no.
Say more.
Well, we tried to have a conversation about the issue at hand. And it didn't go so well. They were blaming me for the issue. So yeah, I tried to move forward, but when we got together after, the thing that happened, it was like they were angry, and so they would say little things. And I'm like, okay, why are you saying that, first of all? And do you want to get past this? Are you mad at me because of it? Because I didn't do anything. You did the thing. So why am I the one that, you're attacking?
So accountability.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to apologize, you can't say but.
There are no buts.
There are no buts. It's, I'm sorry that I did ... I take accountability for what I did, said, whatever the situation is. You need to take accountability and you need to apologize sincerely. There's no buts at all.
You're right. I know one thing. I know that I could be a better friend.
Yeah.
I'm not always the best friend.
I definitely could be a better friend.
Yeah.
I get into my own little space sometimes, and I'm just like...
Exactly. Once you're in your bubble, it's hard to get out of the bubble.
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, I'm always like, well, the phone works two ways. And I could be... I know there was a time frame where I would call people all the time, and everybody was busy. I think it's difficult to have adult friendships and live life and stay connected to people. And then to, on top of that, have a misunderstanding. Because, this is going to be funny, but I'm going to quote Taylor Swift. No. Taylor Swift said in one of her songs, what did she say about, you can't put someone first unless they're in your top 5. And when I heard that in a song, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't in their top 5. And it's like, okay, so you either have to be okay with not being in the top 5 and just play wherever role you're meant to play, or the friendship ends. Like it just dies out, which is interesting. I have to say. Everything is interesting to me. I think when you're when you are in a place where you prioritize someone more than they prioritize you.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen?
Absolutely.
How did you handle it?
I don't know. I just got to a point in my life where I'm not going to see anybody if they're not reciprocating. I'm not going to keep calling someone if they're not reciprocating. I don't want to feel like I'm the only one holding a friendship together. And I recognize also that I've been the one that's not reciprocating. So I'm trying to like be better at that. Where people would call me and I wouldn't necessarily call them back. But if they know me, they know I'm an introvert.
And that's the thing, we do know that. Like I know that. I know that if I don't hear from you for a year, it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, I got to make sure you're alive. But other than that, it's all good.
And if I just pop up in Florida and I'm nearby where you live, I'll give you a call and say, hey.
I'm nearby. But I love that about you because it's not heavy, you know? It's not heavy. I think the worst time for friendships for me was my 30s. Like there was just not, I think when we get to I'm 43, you kind of are just, I am kind of more relaxed about it in the way that, like you said, if we are reciprocating one another, then we're friends, right? We're both putting in effort. You're picking it up when I call, but if you're not picking up, or at least you're returning it eventually. And because I know the personality traits, is you give grace, and you don't worry about the fact that they don't call or whatnot. But if it's a consistent, like, obviously I want something, like I need you to pick up or something like that, or at least text me or email me or something that acknowledge, do something that says that, hey, I got your message. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just going through something. Do that. And then we'll be okay. But in my 30s, I couldn't handle any of that. Like, I guess that was very self-centering, really. If I think about it, it's like, well, they're living life just like you're living life. They got stuff going on just like you do.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, I felt like many of my friends, they were at a different stage. They were getting married. They were having kids. I don't have kids. I'm not married. So it's like, I don't want to, I'm sure parents, they got a lot on their daily plate to do. I don't want to interrupt that.
Yeah, but you were doing things. You were raising. You were doing a lot. You had family that you were dealing with as well. So, a person doesn't have to be married with a kid to be, yes, we're in different spaces, but we're still doing all the things adults do. Yeah. Right? You had stuff going on yourself, so.
And the other thing is, like, I felt like I was always traveling to people. No one ever traveled to me. So,
it's true.
Yeah.
I always felt that way whenever I wrote letters. Remember I used to write letters? Like handwritten letters, girl. And then to not get a return letter or a postcard or something, I'd be like, I know I didn't just sit here and write this letter to you and you didn't write me back. I know it seems silly now in retrospect, but at the time it was very much like, I just wrote a whole letter to you. I think growth is allowing people to be who they are.
Yeah.
and not taking offense to everything. But it is also understanding that we can have boundaries and set them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So did you have a situation?
Did I have one?
Yeah.
With a friend that I grew apart with, or what?
Yeah, a friend that you grew apart from, or would you rekindle a friendship?
I think a lot of things would have to come into play for me to do it. I've thought about it. Well, thank you, Miss Tracy, for joining me today. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, listeners, for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment. And as always, like, subscribe, share, and if you love it, hit the notification button so you do not miss an episode. And remember to say what you need to say. Have a great day.